Okay, good evening everybody and welcome to Policy and Resources on Monday the 18th of May. And just to remind people that this meeting is live streamed through the Council's Facebook page. So any speech may be picked up and broadcast. Fire alarm drill is not planned, and in the event the alarm sounds, please make your way out of the building using either staircase to the meeting point and red light on and await further instructions. And councillors are reminded that to avoid the risk of being seen as predetermined or biased, they should consider all debate prior to deciding on how to vote on items of business. Urgent items for information only can be brought to the attention of the committee at my discretion at the end of the meeting, and no decisions can be taken on items not detailed on the published agenda. And finally, please could I ask that you ensure your mobile phones are either turned off or silent. Thank you. So to the agenda, business to be transacted. Just before we do that, I'd just like to welcome Councillor Richards to his first Policy and Resources meeting. So nice to see you.
Thank you.
Item 1, apologies for absence. Madam Clerk.
None.
That's nice and easy, thank you. Item 2, declarations of interest. So this is to receive disclosures of interest from councillors on matters to be considered at the meeting. The disclosure should include the nature of the interest. If the member becomes aware during the course of the meeting of an interest that has not been disclosed, they must do so immediately. Anybody need to declare? So item 3, grant policy. So this is to resolve to approve amendments to the grant policy due to the large number of applications received. You've had a report that has been circulated. As part of the policy, the committee chairman and the vice chairman worked through with the clerk to see that the applications, not to discuss the merits of the applications, but just to make sure they meet all the qualifying criteria that they've provided copies of accounts and budgets and filled the form in properly and all that sort of thing. And as a result of that last week, we discovered that there are 22 applications, 9 of which are asking for in excess of £3,000, which under the terms of our policy means that each one would be required to make a 10-minute presentation to the committee. That is just not practicable. That'd be a 90 minutes worth of presentation, and will we take any of it in? No, we won't. So what I'm asking is that we can just make a temporary arrangement to suspend that requirement for the presentations for this particular application. I suspect we might have to review the policy at a later date more thoroughly, because this is the second year in a row we've had applications that have exceeded the amount of budget that we have. But this is purely for this round. So I'm asking that the committee would resolve to temporarily suspend the requirement for the presentations, and that instead the applicants are invited to attend the meeting, but it won't be to their detriment if they don't attend, and to answer any questions that may arise. And for us to take questions, they would basically, we would have a window that's set aside as part of the meeting before we looked at larger applications, whereby we would have opportunity to ask each applicant in particular order any questions. And once that question period is finished, we would then go to consider the applications, and we won't be reopening questions. Just for clarification, okay, so I don't intend to suspend standing orders and put them back in and at every single application. Again, we will be here all night. So you have before you the recommendation, Councillor Fisher.
I don't think you've offered me choice. I think you've come up with an excellent idea, and I second your proposal.
Well, I'm not actually proposing them. No,
I propose it.
Okay, and
yes,
yes, you can do. Yeah, just a second. Were you going to second that?
I was looking for clarification on something as well.
Okay, so we'll get the questions then. Councillor Richards.
If it's going from a situation where there would have been a presentation, could you confirm to me whether if someone didn't turn up to do a presentation, that would have been, I would have thought, to their detriment?
Under the terms of our policy, it was conditioned. This is a new change, okay?
Yeah.
And how many of the applicants have actually read that change, I really wouldn't like to say.
Yeah.
But it is a new change that those who are coming in with larger applications, so not the minor, not the smaller ones, no, but the larger ones, it was a new change that was introduced and approved, I think, September. Yeah, in September last year, off the back of having so many, the value of the applications being so much higher.
What I was, what I'm saying is, if it was considered to be detrimental previously that they didn't turn up to do a presentation, then because you had not included the words which you have now said, which is it would not be to their detriment, which is actually what you said, and I suddenly went, no, I'm not sure I agree with that
Yeah.
verbal comment. I would have said that if they were required to turn up to give a presentation before, then I would be in favour of them being required to be available to answer questions.
I can understand why you're saying that, but I'm also mindful that some of the organisations that can have a fair distance to travel, there may not be any questions for them. So I think I was just trying to be a bit expedient in thinking of that. We haven't before had presentations. I think all the large ones are ones that have applied before.
So I haven't got the
No, I haven't got that. So kind of unknown to us, and we have maybe provided grants before, but perhaps not the amount that they're asking. But if members wish to still insist that people attend to be available to take questions, bear in mind that the application form paperwork will have been checked beforehand to make sure they're properly filled in, and all the proper paperwork is provided, and that you will have all read each application thoroughly. Then if members want to say no, they still need to attend, then that is something that we can look at that. So in just a second, so we'll just go out to Councillor Coleman and then Councillor Leach. Councillor Coleman.
I just wanted to clarify that, so we're going to have a period of time before we make decisions where each person attending would be able to answer any questions that we have. So would we work through the list as like first on the list, second on the list, and we'll just work through questions once that way?
Yes, I've got to kind of decide how I'm actually going to manage the meeting, but essentially we've got 3 lots of grants. You've got small grants, you've got the medium, and then you've got the large grants. So we would go through the small, we would go through the medium to start with and determine those. Then we'll look at how much money we've got left, basically. Then we'll have the large grants, and at that point, standing orders would be suspended for us to invite people, for members to ask questions. But I would see that as we've got application A.
Yeah.
So that individual would be questioned on application A, then application B, and so on. Once we've worked our way through them, or 1, 2, 3, 4, through to 9, then we would reinstate standing orders. We would then revisit the first application to determine it.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's very clear. Thank you very much, and I'd like to second the proposal.
Well, I need some clarification, but okay, we will look at that. Councillor Leach.
I was just going to say, go back some years, those who wanted the bigger amounts always used to come give a presentation. I'm not quite sure why that stopped, but it was only 3 or 4 groups at that time. If we're up to 9, they're getting served. So I agree with what you're proposing.
Okay, so any other questions? This one for a minute. So what we've actually got at this stage is a proposer and a seconder to resolve temporary suspend the requirement for presentations, and the applicants are invited to attend the meeting. There isn't a requirement for them to be there. Did you wish to make an amendment to that, Councillor Richards, from what you were saying just now?
I would certainly like to put in an amendment which said that for those who would have been asked to give a presentation, they should instead be asked to attend, even if they're coming from some distance, because whilst I understand what you've just said, the fact of the matter is it also says that the money is to be spent in Accountant. And therefore, if somebody from outside a big organisation, I still see no reason why they shouldn't come and justify the expenditure to the benefit of the residents of Oakhampton. So that would be my sort of amendment.
Councillor Fisher, are you happy to accept the amendment?
I don't know, I think I feel that there are people who do come a distance, and they may, because they've actually given the written, we do actually know.
Essentially, if you don't wish to agree the amendment, then we will vote on your original proposal and seconder. If that is lost, then the alternative for Councillor Richards make the alternative.
No, I'll go along with that. I will still, my proposal still stands with that, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, you support that, Councillor Coleman, you and the seconder, okay. So do we all know where we are? So
that's, they are requested to.
They are required.
The new voting.
Yeah, they are required to attend, teach, take questions. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, all in favour of that, please show. That's unanimous, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Councillor Bishop, Councillor Coleman.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all very much, and I declare this meeting closed at 6:10. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
I'll just switch that.